zachitika kuti zachitika nthawi zanji kodi nanga amene wapanga ndani musakhale nawo gulu lovutika ndi mphekesera ayi tapangani subscribe ku Malawi Daily Headlines lero kuti zochitika mdziko mwanu momwe zisamakuphonyeni.
Fight corruption. Ndisanapitirize ndiyankhuleko mchichewa chifukwa ndifuna ndiyankhulane Tamia Jah komanso ndi Bakili Muluzi amene atawundimva bwino mchichewa. Choyambirira nchonena kuti Tamia Jah ndi mwana onena kuti ndikumuziwa kumene akuchokera, family yake ndikuiziwa, and life yake ndikuiziwa. Kuma nkhani ya public sindingakambeza family yake and where she comes from, her background and who she is as a human being. Koma ndikumuziwa. Koma chimene ndingakambe nchonena kuti there have been many times where Tamia Jah walandira ndalama kuchokera kwa chifoni ya mpinganje, and this is not he. So pali ndalama zimamalandira zimene mmaziwa anthu zimene amanena yekha za public. Walandira ndalama kuchokera kwa china chacha Tamia Jah. When you follow story ya Tamia Jah, there's a connection ya Tamia Jah and Bushiri. There are allegations actually which I'm waiting to prove, and I'm going to look into it. Kuti Tamia Jah Bushiri, Shepherd Bushiri are connected. You know, how far connected they are, that's a different story. Now, these people, my point is that Tamia Jah, they benefit from the corruption. In fact, there's an allegation, Guti, many DPP in 2019. Do you remember 2020? Do you remember when there was an allegation of Daniel Papero? One of the people that were also mentioned in that allegation, which was never pursued for whatever reason, it was never pursued by the MCP government. They never pursued Daniel Papero. Koma Daniel sanali eka Papero pamene pajabo ngatana lili Papero. Aina Tamia Jah, there was an allegation that. So when I am making an allegation to which I don't have proof to, I mention this is an allegation. And that's for a reason. Na iwala zoti ndikuyankhula Tamia Jah. Ndikakhauri ndikukamba zinthu zimene ineyo sina ndilibe umbono wake. Ndimanena kuti zinzokumva ndinamva chonchi. You know? Ayina Tamia timvane pamene. China chimene nganene za Tamia Jah. Tamia Jah, she amapanga live double standards, double life standards, where she amazipanga present kuti ndi lesbian, kuti yeyo attracted to female females, which I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what she's attracted to. Komano panga deep in her life. Umapeza unena kuti akuzembera ndi mbambo uyu nyamata uyu and all that. But beyond that, in nezmezo ndibe nazo ntchito. Twendi nazo ntchito nchonena audio. Anu ngata ina Tamia Jah, they don't help even the community ya those that have age towards same, or those that are involved in same-sex relationships, because in an environment in Malawi, the way people look at people that are gay or that are lesbians, they look at them with an eye judgment already. I'm a judge. And in Tamia Jah, what they do, they rub off on that judgment instead of maybe educating the masses if they were interested in that. So the Muntosa Funigira, in many regards, even including her own community, the community that she claims to belong. You know, why am I mentioning these things? I like to engage. These people can't do that. All they will do, Alexious, the lawyer. Alexious, the content creator. Okay. So what? I'm a content creator, so what? Why do you want to put boxes and limitations? Why? You know, people are very scared of what they can't control. You know, people are very scared of, especially systems. So, Malawi Kujabo, and has indicated Alexious Kamangila control. Alexious will do what he wants and how he wants it. You know, including and they follow me and they support me. I've said I don't have a press team. In a press team, anyone who thinks he's my press team hasn't understood what I stand for. And I don't want a press team. I don't want people that worship me, or that I want people that understand what I'm saying and act. People that hate corruption and act against corruption and help in the fight against corruption. People that care about the poor people. People, and I mean, in concern, now, let me just tell you quickly, because it's in front of and how younger. Bakili Muluzi TV has the Bello. I finished him off. That's why in the morning, he said he couldn't do Atanena. But I did a way of cross in the morning. I mean, I in the morning. And then that's when he started changing. No, I meant to go to my pass information. You know what information you he says, Ninampasa information you know the Minister of Finance and how we manage and there you copies what I wrote. Okay, Achina Bakili Muluzi Tamia Jah. Then now their brain ndio ngono wambi. Like the brain you this sinapangire develop. And sinapangire develop because they have chosen not to feed the brain. The brain grows Malawi. Brain yanu imakula ukamaipanga feed with the right things. The right things, knowledge. Feed your brain with knowledge. Then imakula. What I did with Bakili Muluzi was to expose him who is indeed working for Manamvega, because he was quick to talk about Manamvega's issue. Two, he lied. He has lied to you with information when Manamvega and the minister this period and the person here. You didn't think which year Manamvega was Minister of Finance in a like I'm allowing you know and hope such for Yanni. Like I'm allowing you know, I say goody, why are you stupid? Why are you this? Dino more timanya dino zi moment dino siru dino zisele kwete jifanya kabena malola uta hazikupanga cheating ngati zisele kwete bani. The information you know kuti Manamvega when he was a Minister of Finance, it's out there. You don't even need to. Why can the whole TV, you know, Bakili Muluzi TV says that nampasa information ya boss. Are you serious, Alexious Kamangila basi? For him to know when Manamvega was a Minister of Justice, I went now based information one. The information that I get people is information that I don't know, and the information I get Makayo cause corruption, and not you know zoning a minister not in done. So I betted him. So nampasa kanyambo. Yoja waipa na nyambo ito. Dampanga cross-examine yapa social media. I have put him where I wanted him to be. You see, because he has, let me give him information on Manamvega, you know, which he might not know. And I wrote about the minister and all that because I had to break in. I don't know what these people are talking about. What's the problem? Tameta ni zanuzo. Zimene muli nazo ahesta. Munizo ngati muli nazo zote mukamete. Kamete ni ahesta zonde. Leave my beard alone. Yeah. You shouldn't come on this page to talk about how I look. You know? Leave my beard alone. When I want to cut my beard, I'll cut my beard. When I want. You know? What you say doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. With this doesn't matter because hey, you look nice, you're looking great and all that. Then you know, so it's about how I feel and what it is. And this beard is a reflection of the status of the situation in Malawi. It's chaotic, you know. The other day I was talking about organized chaos. Malawi, chaotic chaos. You know, like Chibwana, Chanchombolid. The Manamvega alipa hat ya Malis Hotel. Komanos analipa hat ya MSB. This is how Manamvega was per hat ya MSB. Chambina chunena kuti for many years Manamvega anali CEO wa MSB. You know? Anali CEO wa MSB mpaka na 2010. Information imene muko za ukaipeza Malawi. Ngati mazuwa research. Singabe mpe Tamia Jah kabena Hazwell Bero kuda bange find out for the research I think is symbol yao. sangazi ziwe kuti angapange bwanja ndimene akupangira zinthu zawo. Now kumene kuja anapangako zake zachisawawa mwanamveka uja Jose mwanamveka, as if that was not enough. Being anapezana na musankhayo uja kukhala secretary to the treasury. So as secretary to the treasury, you are key because the government had a bank manager MSB inali yaboma. So ngati secretary to the treasury mwanamveka ndamene apanga ma decisions. So ngongole zonse zija the bad dates that he gave, ngongole zonse ngongole za apita umbava amene anapanga ifa isinani ngongole zimene anampasa muli he stole ma billion a Malawi, and who helped him steal those billions is Joseph Mwanamveka. So mpaka na 2012 pamene late Professor Bingwa Mtalika died, Mwanamveka anali secretary to the treasury. So my decisions are majitika obalalika, and even when we talk about the bad loans that were going to the Muli brothers, the problem nali aja ya Mwanamveka. Pamene good ogondwe anali minister of finance and decision yogulisa bank inali munthu amene anali ndi influence yambi anali Mwanamveka. He was in the cabinet, and I think anali ku trade, anali minister of trade, sindikumbukira bwino bwino. As I said, when I'm talking about things I'm not sure, I do state come I think anali minister of trade, but he was a go-to person, and anali kuti amatamanga underground, amapusha, which comes us to the issue of MSB. With the MSB, inali ndima banki, inali ndima ma branch, dziko from Sanje to Chitipa. FDH banki, inali ka banki ka Ntumba ka. Inali banki ya Ntumba. Ndi banki ya Ntumba, inabizuri ya kukula, chibanki chokhazikika, kakali kuti kunali mavuto. Kuma even chaka chimene chichi, anabanga profit ya 300 million. Mavuto analiko nditu. Kuma the most viable business pamene popo between FDH bank ndi MSB, it was MSB. Nkhani ya FDH bank ndichita kuipangira tsiku lake ndi fotokoze bwino musandisokoneze, koma ndimangofuna kungochosa umbuli wa Haswell Bello. The last point I want to make on Haswell Bello, chimene chavuta chimene anosimukuziwa nchonena kuti njinga imene tikunena kuti number plate yake linayika kuti ndi extrail. That was betting as well, because maiga kuti yo jabange correct, and he corrected ndikubwesa so chinjinga chijapa mufuse kunena kuti njinga imene ndi andani. So if you road traffic ati basa information, Haswell Bello owns that bike, and he owns other njinga zakabaza. If I'm a business and njinga zakabaza, I'm a basa antu. So I've known him. Name Bakili Muluzi, Dr. Bakili Muluzi. Munthu amene akuuza zina lanu takupasa information through your people. Mundi information, do something, Papa. I do something. If you don't, if you act, but this is what I chair my shares. For that's your name. Ineo muntu wambanga dineo Alexious. Kudi muntu haziuza zina langa Alexious Kamangila. But Facebook muntu wambanga zambimbi. I'll be alarmed and I'll do everything to get hold of him. Bakili Muluzi TV, many DVB in a winner. He came out. Kumafuna no kudaje now. So that's when anazibanga naziduka muchigoba muja kumapempa kutani. Ndi muntu wopempesa ka. Akunena kuti ine ndikupempesa through GoFund. I don't need money from Malawians. I'm asking money for fighting for the Malawians on corruption. So that's the difference. As moyo wa ineyo ina moyo sote. Ineyo moyo sote. Andi sinimafuna zambiri moyo wangu. Kumazambiri zondinazo zokwanira. But I'll ask and I'll continue asking money, because the work that I'm doing, I'm fighting for you. If you can't see that, don't get involved. But you can't shame me for asking you to give me money to fight for you. Ndekuti mudu mwana sumukugwira ntchito. Ndekupepera umeneko, ndekuchizeteyo. Uchisiru umene ubangisa unena kuti muziro la mabanki azibanga withdraw 5.5 billion. Now, nkhani ya lero ndiyo kuti yani. Ndakhala ndikukamba ndipo ndikuyankhula kunena kuti abale anga Cashgate sina kachitika ku Malawi popanda mabanki, under Reserve Bank. So Reserve Bank was part of the problem. So I've done research and I've done a paper, and one of the sections of the paper I discuss abnormalities, normalized abnormalities. Normalized abnormalities muchichewa titaonena kuti zinthu zoziziswa kapena kuti zozizisa thupi zimene tinangozivomereza kapena zimene timangozitenga ngati kuti nzanomo tingozenga kuti nzabwino bwino, zinthu zimene zili zoyipa zimene timangozitenga ngati zabwino bwino, zinthu zimene zili zosamwitsa koma zimene timangozitenga ngati zabwino bwino. Ndipereke mwachisanzo right? Kumalawi kuja kumenya wakuba, kupha wakuba, usati kumenya wakuba, kutingwena kumenya wakuba kumaso kupha wakuba, ndizinthu zimene muli ati maziona ngati we normalize timangozitenga ngati basi ndimene zimakhalira, koma zimene zitandi zoopsa ka image and crime ka munthu mukapeza wakuba ndikuyamba kummenya, kuyamba kumugenda mpana kumuotcha mwapha munthu ka image ndikupha ka. That is not different from munthu amene wampeza in terms of the act itself, the action sizosiyana ndi munthu amene walowa nyumba mwa munthu ukaba kenako ndikumupha munthu amene akambera ucha ose amakhala apa including iniyo ngati mukumupha munthu. So whenever you see people wakubayo kuyamba kumugenda miyala kuyamba kumuotcha, you should know kuti you are a murderer, ndi munthu wakupha kaya. It doesn't matter why you are killing the person you are killing. What is important is kumupha munthu yo. Normalized abnormalities, normalized abnormalities. Zinthu zimene tazivomereza koma zizolakwika timangozipanga chifukwa chonenazo kuti ndimene zimachitikira kapena kuti basi tazinyanyala nyake. Kumalawi kuli ma normalized abnormalities kuti normalized abnormalities ngati 2020 tinanena and the court tinanena kuti there was a fraud that affected the integrity of that election, to the fact that they nullified that election. Kuti nabangaso isanko china. Kumano, that criminal fraud that happened, no one was held accountable to it, and no one asked mpaka na panoba. Mene tima vote 25 mu September. Panachitikaso kuti sizinaende bwino, panali chinambalala, palibe amene kumawamangidwa kuti amene anapangisa chinambalala ndani. Aina vitu mbiko mumba anapangisa kunena kuti my press briefing, we got this. There are issues there to the point where dashboard times dashboard and that time is also Wanda Msisha is greatly involved. There is some money that went through, and there were some promises that went through between leadership times the MCP. They had planned anabangas and planned manabanga yokuza zama elections. But there was a plan that they had done. And in Kani Jai Makatera Wachikoba J and Jigobandi Chagwanada Griza Nagai Zojita. Kuma Jigoba, he was wounded. From 2024, Shigoba has been working. He's not himself, he's half done. Chimene tikudigira panopa ndionera kuti maloya adzukeno and anthu kuzuka. What Kwima said yesterday, to me, it is God. When you see Kwima saying what he said, it's not about me, but it's about the cause. What he said is God. Kwima is the lawyer. Was serious. And this zage, zimene mwina tita kumuyangana, chancha, ndinayankhula also, and I don't. But he went above that. He went above that, and I am so grateful, Kwima, for what you said. The reality, the truth, the truth sets you free. The truth sets you free. And I'm expecting Namadingo to rise above petty things and above his wants, his personal wants, and to love Malawi. Because Patience Namadingo and information on money laundering. He knows so much. He knows so much, and he can save this country. Fuel, wakwera pa 6,000 and all that. Tita money now market, according to global market, according to global politics, international issues, Iran, US war. But the main issue is that the buying power, Malawi, ili weak. We have a weak buying power. And amene akwina kwa graph fuel aje, alibe kutengera kwa graph fuel, amene ujayo ngakhali fuel ja market, titaonera kuti we can justify. Though, tikaona supermarket ipo, pali ma issues amene leader of opposition amazabweresa kunena kuti ma prices kuti grow across the region is wenda by. Leader of opposition amene ali wakuba, so simplest chichola ndi wakuba. And you see, normalized abnormalities omwe manenas. Simplest chichola does an interview pa TV kumanena za chuma chake, and anthu amene timaziwa za mini crime imayendera kuchita kuona kuti this is crime. Simplest chichola pa TV baja amaonesa nditu umboni wa chuma chokuba. You know, this guy is not intelligent. Simplex. And anyway, it's a reflection of our society. Most of us see for Genjira, for Zizira, and for Turo, and Malawi Hambili. Komano Muzuga, Sumunati, Tikutirani Maza Algen, and Fridge. Mazi, Ozizira ice, Tikutirana, Malawi, Tikutirani, Dipo Muzuga. Chakajagan, Ginojo, Chakajagan, Tawagan, you know, generation again, Tikutirana, Mazozizira Muzuga, and Turo, Malawi. Simplest comes on TV and says, Dindi Malima, Dibo 100 hectares, when you look at the place Mama to one side, people building image by 10 years old, when you analyze, people 10 years old, 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old, the period you may, the Minister of Finance. Chichola maendera Toyota Corolla Pompano. Before he was a minister, you know, before Chichola, Simplex Chichola maendera Toyota Corolla. Oh, how did he become a billionaire, a multi-billionaire? You know, by interview, me Jaidan Water. If we were serious, I may not mangi, I may not mangi, me not go to parliament, because Umboni is on TV, and you can analyze if you're a prosecutor, a serious prosecutor, an investigator, you can analyze good money. So he has wealth that he can't explain. Land imene jayo, Boma, APM, Mancho Saso Biriminta, Mumbwezerese Biriminta. Ngati simungambwezerese, don't persecute her. Piti send position yabu, you know, Mumbwezerese so mumponi na utiti muvomeneza. Ifo uwe uchatukuyanga na. Mumbwezerese APM, because Mancho Sasino Biriminta. Ine ndukuzoa zone na Mancho Sa Biriminta, mwenye uchakosi APM. Kuma APM, you can't continue to sleep on the job. You can't. You can't. And you are sleeping on the job, Mr. President. You are sleeping on the job. And you can't continue because of Section 12, because this power is our power. The power that you have is our power. So this is Zomwe Mubanga is who Kanya, trust yatu pangono pangono, trust yatu jayango field, ya piala, ya viala, ya fowoka. Kuyambano chinambala, and you not handle it. Ajina Justin Saida Jasudanga Bangina Jose. Those people will never appoint. They don't have any power. You know, they don't have any power from the Malawians. What I'm driving at in Zonena Kuti, I fear. Agwena kuti chichola kujandama zimezi jazo building meja island basi. Tingo island lado tizidi majimanga. Chimanga chimecho tizidi sam and how prison. Why do we every year want Admark kugula jaguja? Why don't Admark kuzera mujani green belt? Why don't you make street? Because we spend money on green belt, we spend money on Madef. If you manage na yuba amatenga kuma 40 billion, ma 40 million. We spend money on fertilizer ARP. Tima kufedu mabanga spend drama pa zintu zomwezo. But it's also sizima oneka kuti drama zopita kuti. It goes back to the pockets of the politicians. Now, kani meki makamba ndikubwelera so let me bring you back. Issue ndione na kunena kuti mabanki atu pada chitika fani makamba nkhani ya normalization of abnormalities. Kuti timapanga zinthu timazisiya zinthu zoziziswa zosamwiswa timangozisiya kuti ni mmene zili and move on. Then makamba za mabanki ndipo mabanki wa makamba nkhani ya Cashgate kuti Cashgate itachitika. It was clear kuti Cashgate singachitike opanda yani mabanki ndi Reserve Bank okhala pati kuthandizira zigawenga zija. Now my point is kodi zitatero tinachita ja, what is as a nation tinapanga jani titaona zimene zija. You see kunena kuti sitinapange malamulo okwanira bwinobwino. So malamulo athu alipo odi atamagwira ntchito koma ndioperewera pang'ono chifukwa tinayika kuti pang'onopo malamulo athu amathandizira ndipo amaonerera umbanda kuchitika. So timayenera kukhala ndi limit for instance ya withdraw kuti munthu angapanga withdraw ndalama zingati. Panopa chimene tinacho nchoti ma institutions amangopangidwa notify amayenera aziwisidwe kuti pali chancha ndipo pakhala mbola kuti adabwa amayenera kupanga hold kuti no, don't do that transaction blah blah blah, which in this case didn't do, and that's where the National Bank of Malawi has a lot to explain. In fact, National Bank of Malawi owes the nation its money. Ndalama zimene zinatuluka 5 billion, 5.5 billion mana atusa National Bank. Agwena kubweza. The National Bank there's no way that would have happened without them knowing kuda kupanga jani. And one day I remain from my information it reviews unaudo Tsibuli Mos unatuluka 3.5 billion. 3.5 billion. Now, the failure of us having a limit of amount of money that one can withdraw from the bank is one thing which enables the corruption. But why have we failed? It shows now the legal reform here too. There's also corruption within legal reform. You know, many law commissions. There's corruption in the law commission with what it prioritizes, which laws to look at and all that. The cartel is so deep, it's so institutionalized. Komano, it's not impossible to deal with it. We are dealing with it. That's why we are analyzing and bringing these things out in detail with vivid examples. Zinzokazgiga, zodi muta kuziona ni maso, or kuziloza ni maso. Zinaso muta kuzigwira nditu. 3.5 billion, muguzua kuti ndi ndalama zambiri bwanji. 3.5 billion kwacha. Do you know kuti olokunyamula kwake kuti uinyamule 3.5 billion? So the bank has to explain. Obviously there are cameras, janjan. Panoba CEO wa National Bank should be arrested. You know, here on the matter that would lose the Anyamatake, I mean, Apangas Minister Yusufacha. What you must know is this. And Faminama Kauda Gubait, they are not stupid. But then, Kumalai Guja, Aguba, Amaka, they are legless. The system is two polars. They are legless. The fire in Karim, Monsieur Karim, they don't care. They just do basi. Bagadenga drama banki muja pa 2000 kena kuma grisandu pa 5.5. That's what Ajina Karim have been doing. So these are the people that are bringing down our economy. The Magambas are buying power. You have fuel. The buying power has been affected because of Karim, money laundering schemes, because of the forex externalization. It has been buying power in Malawi has been weakened by Bushiri, money laundering, and all sorts of criminal activities that he engages. The buying power of Malawians has been weakened by the conduct and the criminal behaviors and the activities, clandestine activities by Pinganjira and Trifonia, Tom and Trifonia Pinganjira. And then there are others as well. But I'm mentioning Antobwera, Akabwere, you know, and my family, my hegemonic cliques, they are and they are connected to the others as well. You know, never know my enablers of these people, blah, blah, blah. And the banks, they are now moving away from just being an enabler and ukano or mudiru, ukao guba. Osa ukano enable, right? Kuma kusandu kano ukano mbali mozi wawa guba. I keep on mentioning Zune Sata versus Mr. Mo, an Indian versus an Indian, an investor versus a criminal. Mutamela mabandrama ku MDF ndipina kuli kose. Amena na mponda wekumkhanyirira. Pomponderera Mr. Mo amenali, you know, an innocent investor. Mpaka na manobe ya kuvutika tu kuta apeze ndrama zawo. Andi maloya amena kathandiza ajina Zune Sata. Mukaze uti ndani ndomwe watu ajina wapona kita. They are the same people that were And Wapona Gita is a money launderer. Do you know that? Bala Jainumu they are using the bar to launder money. Mukabange malipota mina majoka mpaka mina mo kuta kugulisa banja na Wapona Gita. They are laundering money for people. They are washing money. Wake up, Malawians. Wake up. Basimba bita mungu kita. Au kubelani nsongo yanu gaya. Zintu zimene zizi zikuena kulandidwa ndipo zalandidwa. It's just a matter of way. The good thing is amazika pa Facebook ndipo my pictures now zimapangidwa ndipo ndapangapo comment kale kuti these things will be taken away because they belong to Malawians. Ndi akubwelesa umphawi not only for this generation but for generations to come. That's how evil Wapona Gita ajina gift katundu are. And all that are associated with Kita and company. And that's why the other thing that you must know. The beneficiaries of corruption should never left, just for... Because the... Muntamena Gita chito Wapona Gita. Gita and company. Sangani ne kuti inemondi the green. Kuti sindi maona kuti... It's too obvious. If you lay people and hold this Atampange bolo, I'm maona kuti... design the one. Honey... Ajina Mo, Mr. Mo, suffered injustice, lost billions of money in Malawi Kwacha under the gun by Mr. Zomwe Sata. Because what? He controlled the system. Like he was able to call the police. He was able to determine how immigration, anabanga bribe wa police, mkulu wa police. Mukuziwa ina, anabanga bribe, mkulu wa immigration, banga bribe. Everyone being bribed. Mabanki are part of the people that are bribed. See, this bank and then the corruption, a crime scene. Now, National Bank is under a crime scene. So the CEO of National Bank, I repeat, the CEO of National Bank has to be arrested. So that the person Yamada Amatusa 5.5 billion. And the West still, they were releasing the 3.5 billion while we are already discussing the issues already in the public eye. Hotel in Greece and Shiro wouldn't bomb and bed in the arm. So they were knowledgeable participants. Since the Funa wouldn't be ambe kubanga prosecute case by Facebook. Because I don't need to go that deep. But Ningo Funa Kutamba so then I would ababa balibe kuti tower, balibe kuti pusisa Malawi. Nkani just straightforward. Nkani ndioneka buno bwino. Nemo wone noji tsiru mene amatitenga amwenye amene wao. Baba Mulondela ndazi nzake, they didn't call Yusuf. Do you see why they didn't call Yusuf? Mabilioni amene amakatusa wao muona ngala mabida kutiko. Mabilioni amene wao amakatusa maona amakajesera anthu kaya. Why did they have to take 5.5 billion cash? Muona ngati cash imapita kutiko. Imapita kwa ina Baba Mulondela kaya. Imapita kwa ina Noel Olipipa kaya. And I'm mentioning our my leaders as bad resources really because this is nothing to do with MCP Kapena DP. This is about Malawi. And these people know. So SCP Banoma, ikwena songunena kuti mene zalipoda azipangira anthuwa. Osamwitana Zamba, osamwitana Yusufu. Nkani mupanga bwanji close inquiry. Osamwitana Yusufu. For God's sake, how? Oyokunena kuti ndina anthu opanda nzeruko. Sizingathekeka zimene mwapangazo. So now we have a reason why simuna idane anthu amene wandifake mumangolimbikira chambezi this, chambezi that, because you wanted to make chambezi the sacrificial lamb. But it's clear what you're doing. Zimene mukubanga. Ndesiti kusiyani achina Baba Mulondela ndazinzana. Na uchitiru mene amatitenga amwenyewa mpaka na kulimba mtima kumapita ku court. Ndikapita ku court kuja. So zimene zichazo those are calculated. That's how they do. And amapita kumwe kujawo kuna kaudi Manda. Ken Manda was still commercial court. Anakapita kwa Ken Manda. Ndipo anakachosa jani injunction yose freezing order janakaichosa freezing order anakaichosa kuichi restriction order kuitairawo ukaiponya toilet ngeje mula buvu bwezi achina Yusufu mafuna kuti akangotenga injunction ija achose ku drama zose zimene zilipo mu account azituluse amatulusa Malawi muno tuli Mozambique tikuziwa mati anthu ake ndi omwe amwenya amene ali town mu amabwesa reporting ngati kuti akuyenda ndi ndalama zoti agulisa ku shop ndithu ndi ndalama za misonkho yanu akuberani ndi ndalama za civil servants za pension fund amwenya akutuluka nazo makamaka ngati agulisa siku limene akuchapa ndalama za agalu amenewa asatana asakwi agulu kunyinda amwenye okuba amwenye onunkha ndi onunkha chifukwa cha khalidwe lacho onunkha chindi khalidwe lawo ndipo limanunkha adi khalidwe lonunkha lomango abera Malawi and Malawi ndi nopusa chifukwa you are allowing this mukuchita kuziona zinthu zikuchitika and who are the neighbors my executives akubank they are Malawians and they know what's going on. All they want is to buy a 4x4. All they want is to buy a Rapture, 2025, 2026. And that's all. Stupid people. They have a wife or they have a husband, they have kids, they have family. They don't care about that. They're thinking about a beautiful holiday kunyanja. That's all they're thinking. That's how much people can sell our country. And for me our Yusufu investment. Ndikupita ndi GK Associates. Gabriel wa GK Associates. Ndio pano maina kumanga Gabriel because Gabriel walandira ndalama kuchoka ku American Hotel. Zosa zilika kuti ndalama izizi mukuti chani. Because asatinamizi za legal service. Kodi inu mukunena kuti chani. Ndiye akupita uko even how the case was started. Kukayamba ku civil. Case yonena kuti malamulo ali clear. So the lawyer either should be called to disciplinary for incompetence or for corruption. But the Malawi Law Society will be quiet. Because why? Even the Malawi Law Society, the Malawi Lawless Society, is part of the system imabanga shield corruption and it bites those that really want to fight corruption like me. They'll be quick to look at Kamangila kuda kuyankhula pa Facebook. Bullshit. Ndalama zikulusira 5.5 billion ku banki. Let me tell you one secret. The Malawi Law Society moved over the report ya whistleblower because to them they believe good deal manager amabanga the MCP. So change of government, then they were acting because the IMCP are running. I mean, one of the things that I've said about Malawi Society, it acts on popularity, on populism, you know, it acts on popularity. So kutoka kwa MCP kuja antamba kuona information yonena kuti anthu anabandama zambiri everyone is against MCP ati Malawi avuta Mandaizi avuta right. You see, that's how stupid Malawians think. Francis Joseph, you're stupid. I'm giving you information that you can't get anywhere. And I'm giving you this information risking my life. And all you consider is he's making money, he's monetizing the page. That's how stupid. Ujitsiruwa Malawi ndionena kuti you focus on small things, on unimportant things, and you leave out the important things. Now, let me proceed. Malawi Law Society inapanga ripoti manager ifuati imaona unena kuti dilu ija mene imamvekera kuti dilu ija ndi IMCP and all that. But let me take you back. Hata sanena unena kuti banki ifuna kugulidwa janjanjan pantengo oti overblown janjanjan banki yo sili bwino blah blah blah. Frank Mbeta spoke and said taimisa zimene sizichitika. The Attorney General said this sachitika zimene sizichitika. Nthawi imene anaita sana muwese mudiwu. Asa akuziwa kuti kudi kuli chani ukuku. Koma atangoyitukira Mbeta ndi pamene anali mgulu ndi Collins Maglasi ndi ayinagangata ndi kuyihanija kuyithamangisa. For Collins was part of MCP through my business ogulisa mafuta, ogula mafuta ndi Zamba. Collins ndi Zamba has been like this. And if they look at Zamba in South Africa, how is Zamba in South Africa? For God's sake, what is Zamba doing? Wakala 5 years, ali ndichakwera uja. Or did another 3 years. Sinambe budi Zamba wapita kuchipatala. What is Zamba? Like, APM. Mukubanga, mukugulisa, ukulu wanu, mukugulisa mphamvu zanu as a president. It's time to show us kuti proven leadership is real proven leadership. and not proven leadership is proven leadership that failed. So you're just proving good you are a failed leadership in terms of proven leadership. So proven leadership can be anything. It can be proven leadership of success. It can be proven leadership of failure. So nobody about proven leadership I just sit now only. Good proven leadership many cha. Kama nani na unena kuti chikamata chaka chao temu ya antika to kuziwa kuti direction and yotani. So mimi kuyankhula is not important, but what you do is what matters. Let me conclude by saying kunena kuti awawa amene amapita su banki amapita su ku court kuyuza ndemu werenge tu amene mmatha kuwerengano izi sizikukhuzani achina uje muwerenge chigamulocho ndichika pa Facebook page komanso mafatsamu mundaisa kugawa nditu chigamulo chimene alemba Professor Wilson Kapindu. We are lucky to have such kind of judges, a brilliant judge. But Kapindu why he can class it why yes information but he was doing that deliberately. Student hajasama ziwa ajina gaba GK associate. It doesn't mean they didn't know, but that's what they do. Those are things that we should look at as Malawi law society or Malawi lawless society. That's what you should be looking at. They are part and parcel. They are embedded into the corruption. They, as in sound, I mean, Abuja now on dramas ministers, you know, my closest buddies, and they continue to take me out of WhatsApp groups. It's funny. They continue to say my group was some lawyers. Also, I am the only lawyer that you should be associated with. You should be proud of, guy. And I'm telling you, I'm the lawyer you should be proud of as Malawi. So mzindika kusogo kuti ndindi lawyer ku Malawi law society member wa two. But you can't see that because you are closed in. Mwasegeredwa, mwatantani. You know, enage andile message. Council, is this you? Mwani na udi pachakuti pano National Bank. Yes, ndine abusa tamene. Sima embekeza udi ndine it's me ndine nditumusa sadenka. Nimakulemekeza ni kuma azizi zimene wabangazi. Ndikuona ngati kuti sizindawo zati ziko mkwambiri ule mwana usungani msasanditemekezeso. Give me respect. These are stupid people. Stupid religious people, because they are not angry, they are not mad over drama zimezi kubedwa za Malawi za mphawi. They are mad over a word yonena unaudi inundanto pusa musanke puzo lanu tipemphere zinatalenda mwana ndira mzimu yana uli mukaka watalendeka mwana ndika mzimu yana monga panali poyamba sopano masikonse ndi pa nthawi zosatani zinatalenda mwana ndira mzimu yana. Amen.
Zachitika kuti zachitika nthawi zanji kodi nanga amene wapanga ndani musakhale nawo gulu lovutika ndi mphekesera ayi. Tapangani subscribe ku Malawi Daily Headlines lero kuti zochitika mdziko mwanu momwe zisamakuponyeni.